guys, and welcome to my May wrap up. Woo! So I'm slowly catching up with all the videos that I've missed because of my freaking illness, and yeah, so May wrap up was the last thing that I had to do, or more the first thing that I had to do, because it was the last video that I was supposed to film before I got so sick. Anyways, here I am with my super light May wrap up, if anybody of you even watches this, because who wants to know what I've read in May when it's already August? I don't know, but well, in May I've read 11 books, and I won't be able to tell you that much about them because I nearly forgot what I did say about them. I will check my Goodreads reviews to help me out, so yeah, let's see how this goes. The first book that I've read was Echoes of Scotland Street by Samantha Young, fifth book in the On Dublin Street series, and this is Cole's book, and I was so excited, and this time I wasn't disappointed, not like with Hannah. It was amazing and I loved it. I was just like a little bit sad because we didn't get Cole's POV, but otherwise I totally was a fan of this book, so 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I've read was Clipped Wings by Helena Hunting, and I always wanted to read this because look at this pretty cover, and it's about tattoos, and so I really wanted to read it and look at the back cover. And then I've also met her at the signing in Edinburgh there, where I was at, so I have to show you this. It is signed! Yay! So I really didn't know what to expect, but it was way darker than I thought it would be, like way darker, and that's the reason why I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, because I was feeling really down while reading this. It kind of put me in a weirdish mood, but I think that was also like part of the plot. I wanted that you feel down, so that is a sign of really good writing, but I wasn't in the mood for like such a dark read at that point, so yeah, that was one of the reasons why it got 4 out of 5 stars, so yeah. And anyways, I really loved it, and the writing was amazing, and the main characters were also super cool, and yes, 4 out of 5 stars. The next book was Rusty Nails by Alice Clayton, and now here comes Gabby and Colleen and G that are all screaming wall banger in the comments, and the reason is because this is the second book in the wall banger series. Yeah, and I was disappointed. Like, wall banger was so funny and weird and new, and I don't know, and this book wasn't. Like, it was Caroline and Simon. Was it Caroline? Yes, it was Caroline. See, my brain, poof, gone, memories. Well, it was also Caroline and Simon's story, just like in Wallbanger, and yeah, this felt forced, like totally forced. There wasn't much storyline, and it wasn't as funny as the first book. I barely laughed, which I loved about the first one. And yeah, so I was really disappointed, and it got 3 out of 5 stars. The next book that I've read was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Rose series. Those titles, so long. Anyways, I loved this book to death. Like, it was amazing. It was so much better than the first book. We had a bit more storyline, which, yeah, we didn't have that much in the first one. And Favor's character development was A+, like, so good. And I totally fell in love with Riz. I know that's not how you speak out his name, I will say it anyways. I totally fell in love with Riz in this book. Like, he was so amazing. Like, oh my gosh. And yeah, then the whole storyline and the ending, all the feels, like I actually cried because of this freaking book. I cried in the end. Like, I I barely cry at books, which you should know by now if you watch me regularly. And yeah, so it was amazing and 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait for the next one. Then I've read also a new release, and that was The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. And this book is huge for a contemporary book. It has over 500 pages, and that was the problem. Like, the first 90 pages were so boring and I couldn't get into it. I was like so frustrated, and I was this close to giving up. Like, normally Morgan Matson is always fantastic and I love her, but this time I just couldn't get in and I was bored. But then it started picking up the storyline and it went way faster, and I started to really enjoy it. But I thought it was more of like a fun summertimey storyline like the other books, but it really wasn't. So I was a bit disappointed in that because of wrong expectations. But yeah, it was still amazing after those 90 pages, and so I got 4 out of 5 stars. Then I've read Relentless by Cassia Leo, and well, I've mainly read it because she was also at the signing. So, pink, yes, a big plus, which doesn't count into my rating, but still, pink. Anyways, I don't know how to feel about this book. Like, I've just checked my review because I didn't have it that much in my brain, but yeah, now that I've read my review, I remember I had a weird feeling about this book, about the characters. It was kinda sketchy, I don't know. The whole like scenario just was weird, that normally wouldn't happen like this. I think it would, if something like that would happen to me, I would run screaming in the other direction instead of getting to know the guy. Just saying. And yeah, the writing was good though. I really liked it, and the characters were okayish, except for the weird feeling that I can't put my finger on, and so it got 3 out of 5 stars. Then I've read Anti-Romance, also by Cassia Leo, and that one was way more fun than Relentless. I enjoyed it way more, and I don't know, I got sucked in and then it was over, and that was where I was disappointed, because in this first part of the book, because this isn't the whole storyline, barely nothing happened in the storyline. Like, in the end it was still like all open, and we didn't get that far like at all with the storyline. And yeah, the second book isn't out yet as far as I know. I think it isn't out yet, so we're left hanging, and I hate that because I wanted to know how it goes on. So yeah, I was disappointed with that, but otherwise it was fun, it was way easy to read, and I loved it, and 4 out of 5 stars. Then I've read At Any Moment by Brenna Aubrey, the 3rd book in the Gaming the System series, which I've started like way back. I can't even remember when I read the 1st book, but I wanted to read on, and I was slightly disappointed because the plot took a turn that had nothing to do with the original plot of the 1st book. Like, it took a completely other turn, had nothing to do with it anymore. Like, maybe the relationship of them had something to do with the 1st book, but otherwise nothing. So that was like a big no for me, and yeah. And also I was still annoyed as hell with Mia and Adam, because they both are like little children and can't talk to each other. Like, ugh, guys, just no. And yeah, I think the series would have been better off if it ended after the 1st book with like a more epilogue thingy and then be done. Then it would have been way better. So this one got 3 out of 5 stars, which I don't know why it got 3 out of 5 stars. I think it's more 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then I've read The Hooker and the Hermit by L.H. Cosray, and I didn't know how to feel about that book because I liked it, but I couldn't really connect with the characters. They were like, I don't know what it was, but I just didn't feel for them. And yeah, sometimes it was a bit boring and could have gone faster, the storyline. But the writing was good and I enjoyed the storyline overall, so I got 3.5 out of 5 stars. And the last book that I've read in May was Smut by Karina Helly. And holy shit, I was so excited for this book and I wasn't disappointed because it was amazing and I loved it. I loved it so much. It was so amazing to read about writing because they are writing novels in this book, and it was so interesting to read about it, how it all goes with the research and the advertising and all that stuff. And Amanda and Blake were amazing. Like their relationship, all in all, before they even got together, was so epic. They had this banter going on, which I'm like such a huge fan of. Like, it's my #1 thing that I love about a good relationship. So yeah, that was a really big plus. And just the whole storyline was so captivating and I couldn't stop reading, and Karina's writing is, as always, A+. Like, this woman, she writes so amazing, and yeah, I couldn't put it down, and so it got 5 out of 5 stars. And that's it! That were all of the books that I've read in May. Now I have to go on with June, and then July. A lot of filming to do. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!